Good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads, and this is our Get Started class. So it's really for our new clients, but also for clients who want to get a refresh and see what's going on. We are always adding new functionality and new tools. I'll show you a couple today. But before we dive into all that, I want to definitely point out where you can go to learn more about us. And one place is our Mastermind group. It's on Facebook. It is a private group. Okay. What that means is if you're not in it, you won't be able to find it. So the way to get into the Mastermind group is to use the support team. Support team will help you get into the system. And so that's that. So I also want to mention this. This just came in last week. You may not have seen it, but Facebook is announcing a big change, and it has to do with running ads in the Facebook marketplace. So I sent it over to our tech team last week. You may see this. This has to do with the Facebook marketplace only. And we actually, having Facebook ads is a really important part of our platform. I'm going to show you how that works in a few minutes. But we don't actually run ads in Facebook marketplace. So that's not really going to affect us too much. But you'll always see questions and also what people are doing, how they're, using our platform. So there's a lot to learn in our system, and the Facebook Mastermind group is one of the first places. And I think actually the best place is this page right here. This is our Listings to Leads page on YouTube. Every call that we do, like this one here, is recorded, and we put it in here so that you can review this. Now, obviously today we're all sitting together and kind of going over this class, but we do these. I kind of rotate through 3 classes every 2 weeks. And then Scott jumps in every week or so and does another class. He's actually doing a series right now on how to grow your business to 250 grand, which is really a high level look at the entire platform. So it's definitely worthwhile to check that out too. But I do a few classes. Today's class is Get Started. I also teach top tools to get more listings. So if you really want more listings in your business, I recommend that you watch that. And then what's the other one? Facebook advertising, right? And I do Facebook advertising, but I will tell you this. There's one over here, Facebook ads right here. There's 2 classes down here. I don't know if you can see it kind of close to the bottom. It says the best way to get listings from Facebook and a new strategy to get high quality listings from Facebook. These 2 classes right here. Now, if you want more listings, if you're watching my class, my more recent classes about top tools to get more listings, I'm going to discuss that. I discuss how to use Facebook to get listing leads, and one of the best ways. It's a little more complicated than just our normal stuff, right? Because when you start to see what's going on in the system, you'll recognize that a lot of it's just super easy, but that one has a few steps, and I go into detail there. So if you're somebody who's looking for more listings, I would look at these 2 classes as well. Now, I'm actually going to send this to all of you, this page right now, because I think this is a page that you should hold on to and refer to. If you're new to us, this should be in your account right now. If you're new to us, you're going to find, that understanding what we have is beneficial to you, right? That's why you're on this class today. And that would make sense, especially if you're somebody who's new to us. And I'm going to point out a couple of things, a couple of people here. Dustin Fogg. Dustin was a rookie agent a few years back. He joined us, got in the Mastermind group. I rolled out their office, Pearson Smith over by Washington, D.C. And, he started using one of our tools. This is one I'll be talking about in just a little bit, called the New Right Homeowner Alert. He mailed it out. It's part of his normal business now, but he was a rookie back then doing 5 million a year. 2 years later, he was doing 20 million a year. So when he was, a rookie with 2 years, there were 300 agents. Now there's 600 agents in that office, and he is the lead agent. He actually did a call with somewhere in the Mastermind group, and he said that he wanted to do this call because he went from 5 to 20 million in 2 years. And that 80% of his business was coming from our tools. Okay. Now, I don't know if your business is going to grow by, by 300% like Dustin, but I do know that Dustin put in time to learn the tools that he was going to use. And if you want to put in time to learn how to use our system, this YouTube channel is really the best place to go. I mean, of course, you can join us for live calls, but you're busy people. So, if our schedule doesn't work with yours, just go to that YouTube channel. I just sent you a link and go check it out. Now, I'm going to kind of refer to him one more time, because as we get into it, you're going to see something here. This lady, Terry Wicks, asked a question: who here gets 2 listings per month strictly from listings to leads, right? That's a good question. Who gets 2 listings a month, right? And what exactly they're now, a bunch of our clients jumped in to answer that question and what's working with them. Dustin says, yeah, we get 2 listings for every marketed listing. And we use Facebook ads, mailers, and open houses, trying to get that to about 3 this year. So every time he has a listing, he's getting 2 to 3 more listings. Now, you would think we're going to get buyers, and getting buyers has typically been the easy part. But to increase your listing volume by using these tools, well, that's what it's all about. And again, to learn how to use those tools, the YouTube channel is going to help. So let's get into listings to leads, and let's talk about what it can do. All right. So if you log in, as soon as you sign up, we're going to drop you on a wizard, this account setup wizard, right? And we're going to tell you, finish your profile, get your company info in there, connect to social media, and connect to your ad account, and then add listings, and then connect your CRM, and then turn on text IVR. Text IVR doesn't come with the system, but it's where you have text this number to that number and get instant information. It's $10 a month. I definitely recommend it, because when people use it, you're getting leads with phone numbers. And if you want to convert leads with phone numbers are easier to convert. Okay. So one thing about listings to leads, we have tools for you if you have listings, and we have tools for you if you don't have listings. So, depending where you are in the cycle of your business, we've got tools to help you out. And there are kind of a few areas where you're going to really focus on. One is listings. And so we have the ability to pull listings in, and, we're going to make a bunch of tools and a bunch of automated tools and do all kinds of cool stuff. We'll dive into that a bit. And then we have this other section that is to create ads. Now, I'm going to be talking about Facebook ads. I'm not going to go into deep detail, because this is our Get Started class, and the Facebook class in our YouTube channel is where I go into that. Whoa, what's this? Oh, Google. Okay. Yeah. So I got a red message there. So these are the kinds of ads: listing ads, landing page ads, and PDF guide ads. We're actually testing Google right now, and this should be live next week. Okay. So you'll be able to run ads on Google. And as I show you the Facebook side, you may know from your own experience that it's super easy to do with our system. Similarly to Google, we're making it very easy there. So we're really going to save you time and make sure that you run ads that are effective. So that's really the 2 areas: the listings page, the ads page. We've also got landing pages here, and these are important home value landing pages, new construction, down payment assistance. You have unlimited landing pages, so you can create unlimited landing pages for your account. I really recommend it if you're doing more, if you have more than one farm market, right? More than one area. So that's kind of what we do, but let's get into what we need to do to set up. And I mentioned that there's a wizard right on the front page as soon as you sign up, but I like to go into the profile because I think it's just a little easier. The first thing you want to do is auto posting. And there's a tab right here that says auto posting. And I recommend that even if you don't use the other platforms, that you go set up accounts and connect to them. So you want to connect to your Facebook account, to Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And it's pretty easy. You just click the button. It looks like I got kicked out of LinkedIn. So let me just click that real quickly and show you what it's like to connect. You click there. It's going to take you to your LinkedIn account and you sign in. And I think it's going to just be done. Yeah, that's it. So now I'm connected to LinkedIn, right? And, but even the reason why I think you really want to focus on Twitter and LinkedIn is that we put hashtags on this. And a lot of people, even if you only have 3 friends, we put hashtag real estate, hashtag realtor. A lot of people will see that, and that's going to help you capture leads. After you connect your account, you want to click on listings over here. And you want, when you hear this box on the right, it's going to be empty. It's going to kind of look like that. And all you got to do is click this copy and paste button here, and it'll paste that information, which is here, which is dynamically pulling information from your listing. That when we're auto posting, it's going to have good content people to click and then capture some leads for you. So that's first thing you want to do is set that up. On preferences, if you've got reviews on Zillow, check this box here and then save it here. And then we'll populate your Zillow reviews on many of your tools. This one here, which says social media links, this is where on some of the tools we will add like follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. So if you want to do that, go copy the URL from your account, put it here and save it. And then we'll sort of populate it in certain tools. Okay. One thing I want to point out also is your appearance. You can actually change your logo here. You can change, you see, I've got a blue bar here. You know, you can change this to meet your kind of branding needs. Mine is custom, but you might be from a big agency, and you'll notice that we have a lot of agency colors here. So you can make that quickly affect your account. And then it'll also show up on PDF reports and stuff like that. Always save the changes. And then here we've got CRM integration. And you should have a CRM. If you don't have a CRM, we have something that will help you with a drip campaign, and I'll show you that next. But we have a lot of APIs from some of the top CRMs out there. If you don't see your CRM on here, click on other CRMs, and your CRM will probably give you a unique email address. Like Follow Up Boss does that. They give you, your name at followupboss.net or something like that. But just so you know, we do have an API with Follow Up Boss, but if we didn't, then you would have a unique email that is coming from your CRM. If your company does not have an API and does not have a unique email address for you to send leads to, I really recommend you look for another CRM. This is like basic stuff here, especially the lead forwarding one. And if they don't have that for you, it means you're going to have to find a manual way to get your leads over. And I know nobody's going to be doing that long-term. So there's some great companies in this list here. So you get that set up here. Also, there's an affiliate program that you can sign up for, which means that we will give you 15% recurring for any client who signs up on that link. And to create that affiliate link, you will need a PayPal account. It's just going to ask you what's your PayPal email address, put it there, share that with your friends, and that will work for you. So that's what you do setting up on your profile. Okay. Now over here, we've got a few new things. I mentioned this one here, follow up. So if you don't have a CRM, we actually have follow-ups for both buyers and sellers. Okay. Now, all you got to do to turn it on is just toggle that button, right? For sellers and buyers. So depending on what kind of lead you're generating, we know, because we always tag it buyer or seller, we will drop it in the appropriate list, right? Now, when you click in here, you can go through and read all this. And I know there might be a few of you that do, but you actually don't need to. We've already got a lot. We launched this in January of this year. We've got a lot of feedback from our clients. We're seeing the open rate between 30 and 40%, which is really high. And I also have clients who are trainers and coaches from other CRM companies. And they, some of the top ones we're already outperforming in terms of lead conversion. So if you don't have a CRM, and you don't, or maybe you have a CRM and you haven't figured out how to convert it, which I've talked to plenty of agents who are in that category, just turn this on. We've done it. It's free. It's part of the system. So I would use that. Also, something that's new, it says social here, and this is social content. Now, this doesn't have to do, this is not like auto posting for your listings. It's social information that's kind of real estate related, right? One here, I've got 50 best shade plants, right? So it's really about home ownership and things like that. Not a lot of lead capture, but it makes your social media accounts look really good. So when you go here the first time, it's going to say connect your social media accounts. You connect all your favorite social accounts, right? Then it's going to say when. I have it only once on a week on Friday. It's default Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you can decide, hey, I want it every day, or you decide what days, right? Then you choose the topics. And what I was just on the phone with another client this morning, and he's saying, God, some of these articles you're writing are getting just a lot of comments, right? Just a lot of, and that's because, we're writing them. We're not writing stuff like, boring interest rate stuff. We're writing articles that are about really cool ideas that are just more real estate related and topical, right? So all kinds of cool articles. We're doing them for you. You don't have to set them up. If you want to read everything, be my guest, right? My suggestion is just turn it on. So that's for social content. Now, one more thing for setup is ads. Okay. So when we come here to ads, you're going to find that there are a couple of times where we're asking you to connect social media and connect to Facebook. And this is one of those places. So when we do the social one, it looks very similar. So when you come here for the next time, there's really only going to be two buttons. One's going to say connect to Facebook, and one's going to say connect to Google. Now that Google one will be there next week, but you're going to have to connect to Facebook, and it won't look like my page. Here you can see a lot of my past ads, right? Since you're connecting for the first time, you won't see history there. But once you do, then you'll be able to run ads. And I'm going to come back to that and show you that, because I think we really should start with the listing section. Okay. And a lot of what I'm going to show you here is automatically generated. Now, I will also let you know that if your listing should auto sweep in. If they don't auto sweep in, go to our support team down here. And remember, you're going to ask our support team to add you to our mastermind group. But if you have active listings in your name and they're not auto sweeping, just give them an address. Say, hey, you know what? This property is active. Would you add this to my account? When you're over here on the get started page, it's going to say add listings. It's going to say add it manually, which is like the most time consuming. Grab, which means you're going to drop in the zip code and MLS ID. And then import. And import is going to say, what is your MLS email? And that means the one that you're using inside your MLS, which may not be your current working email address. But if you drop that there, that should automatically sweep your listings in. And any future listings that add to your MLS will go in there. But when we go back to the listings page, I also want to say that there is an add button here, and you can grab an active listing. This one, you're going to want to have permission. Right. I don't know what your local MLS rules. There are a few MLSs that you can just grab any listing on the MLS and market it, but I don't know which ones they are. Typically, the rule is get permission from the agent that you can market their listing. Most people know the agent pretty well. That's what they're asking. And grab it, and we drop it in here, and all kinds of automatic things happen. So one thing to note, listings usually start when they're just listed, but you can also add things as coming soon if your MLS allows that. I would definitely take the time to update it if it's pending or under contract, and then definitely as sold for either the listing agent or the selling agent. Okay. These later stages, the call to actions are to get more listings. Early stages like active, open house, or just listed are designed to get you more buyers. Okay. So I've got an open house here. I'm going to click on market listing, and you can see this whole column of stuff going on. We create all these things. Now, the first thing we drop you on is Facebook and Instagram ads. Okay. So assuming that you connected your business page the way that I was showing you on the previous page, all you need to do is click create an ad. All right. And boom, all the boxes that you needed to check on Facebook, which are spread out over 4 different pages. Well, we have their software here. So we're going to be able to just check all those boxes right away. If you don't see something here on the front of this ad, like, you know, great schools, right? Maybe there's a name of a school district that this is part of. You can just type it right here. And then when you run the ad, it's going to go right out there. Okay. Google Ads, I don't have a Google account added yet, so it's giving me a big blank page. And we really should fix that so it's not blank. I'm going to talk to the tech team about that. But then there's social media posts. Now, a post is different from an ad. I know many of you, when it comes to social media, have learned how to post things, right? You can just share something, right? You can share an article, you can share pictures of homes that you're selling, whatever. I've even seen agents grab a Zillow link from Zillow and put it up on and share it on social media. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's a post. That's just your sharing stuff. This is what our post looks like here. And this little box up here is telling you that it's been automatically posted. So if I click on Facebook here, you're going to see what an automated post looks like. And I definitely recommend all of you turn this on. We've got emojis, we've got hashtags. You remember when I mentioned that we've got hashtags like realtor and real estate. A lot of people follow those on LinkedIn and Instagram. So even if you got 3 friends, people are going to see that. What's really important about this, even though it's got a color of, pictures, is if somebody clicks on it, we have a landing page automatically behind it. Okay. And this landing page is just really high level. So if people want more detail, they have to click continue with Facebook. And I'll click that. And once somebody clicks that, we grab the name and email of that person and we email it to you. Okay. And then we drop them on the single property website that we automatically captured for you. Right. And all the information here, there's all kinds of great stuff. We even ask, what is your home worth? Even though this is an open house, because we know there are a lot of people looking at real estate who own a home who are thinking about selling. We even give them the ability to download PDF reports. And you are branding them every page of every one of those reports. And there's maps and cool stuff like this, your Zillow reviews, which I mentioned earlier are here, and then your other listings and maybe a video. And then what is your home worth? Okay. So all that is happening from an automated post, assuming that you turn on social media auto posting. Okay. It's free. It captures leads for free. I totally recommend it. We create tools for sellers. I recommend that you use these. These give not a lot of leads, but they are leads from your clients, friends, and family and colleagues. We send this to you automatically. Definitely recommend you use that. The number one tool for getting more listings is actually this tool right here. Okay. And it's called the Nearby Homeowner Letter. It's traditionally our clients would download it like I'm doing right now, and they would door knock it, or they would put it in an envelope and they would mail it. Right. I mentioned, I think earlier, Dustin Fox, right? And I told you that this guy went from like 5 to 20 million in 2 years. And this was one of the first tools he found was, hey, I got your Nearby Homeowner Letter. I mailed it first class to 250 homes. I put a little calendar in there and my little 1-page Zillow reviews. And I got 10 listings with an average commission on $17,000 after spending $700 to mail it. That's a good ROI. And that's why he came in here. There are lots of stories. I would recommend that you read this. If you want to use this letter, read the comments. I also recommend that you check out Chris Winstead, who's more recent. He's definitely using video, but he's also mailing that same letter out every 2 weeks. Read the comments in here. He tells you exactly what he does for follow-up and how he used that letter. He's actually been so successful. When he put this video here, he had just moved to San Antonio, Texas with his wife and kids from out of state, had no name recognition. So you might want to read what he did, because I can tell you at the beginning of this year, he started his own office. And the first thing he did is he starts creating videos on how to use listings to leads to grow your business. For his own recruiting, I would definitely recommend that you check that out. And I would also recommend that you look at Alicia Fless, because Alicia got on a class just like we're doing right here and listened to what I was saying, which is use bright colored envelopes. You don't want this stuff to look like junk mail. And she came out here and a handful of times every year says, every time I'm doing this, I'm getting more listings. So I definitely recommend, if you want to kind of use that nearby homeowner letter, go learn what the other agents were doing. What they are not going to tell you is something that we've just added to the platform. And that is, we have an integration with a company called Express Copy. Okay. Now you got to go create an account with them, but you can actually say, hey, I want 100 or 200 pieces or whatever number you decide. I want us to go to this address to homeowners only. And I want those homeowners to have like X number of years of equity. Okay. That's what Chris Winstead is doing now. That's what a lot of our clients are doing. They're buying lists from Remind, and they've been doing it by hand. Okay. When I showed you that story with Chris Winstead, he's starting in his own office. He had to do everything to get that letter out every 2 weeks by hand. 2 years later, you can have Express Copy do it for you. Okay. So I would definitely recommend that you take advantage of that. There's an e-flyer for your database. It's the electronic copy of that same letter. Okay. Now, if you've got a database of hundreds or thousands of leads in your CRM, you should be using this every week or every other week. You can borrow listings. We're going to auto generate that there. You can do it in any status, just listed, open house, sold. It always kind of works. We create single property websites, virtual tours. We've got a whole open house marketing toolkit. We've got really great postcards. I want to really point this out because a lot of agents use print in their, in their business. And it makes sense because print's been around a lot longer than the internet. But if I ask an agent about their ROI, well, there's really no ROI, right? And that's a shame. But if you use our design and you use our tools, you can print them with your own printer. We don't really care. You're going to see call to actions on both the front and back. Go to this link on the back to get your free home bag. Go over here, on the other one, go check out this open house here. So if you're going to put the money into print, I definitely recommend you use our design. If you want an ROI, if you just like mailing out colorful things, God bless you. Go continue to do that. If you want leads, use our tools. We also have sign writers here. I mentioned earlier, turning on text. These are the designs that you can print with. I know we use dirt sheet signs here, but you might have your own sign printer. Again, this is what they look like. Not super fancy. You don't have to use ours. You can design your own. But I want to point out that we have designs with QR codes and we have designs with text codes, right? Now, a lot of people like QR codes now, especially since COVID. But I want you to understand what a QR code does. Okay? A QR code, you can take a picture with your phone and it takes you to a website. In our case, it's going to take them to this website. Okay. It'll be mobile optimized. And this is designed, there are multiple call to actions to capture leads for you on this website. But when you use a QR code, well, we now send them their phone. We send you their phone number and we tell you what property they're looking at. We kind of think this is a better way to get a lead. When you have a lead with a phone number, that's great. There's no guarantee you're going to get a lead with a phone number from this page. You might get leads, but you're just going to get email addresses. Okay. So you can use that information as you wish. If you're a blogger, we got lots of tools to help you blog here. You can just copy and paste. There's multiple call to actions in each one. Craigslist, we do create QR codes for each property. We were just looking at that. So if you want, you can use that any way you want. That's the listing marketing side. We do have them ranked in terms of the effectiveness of capturing leads. The most effective ones are at the top. So the next section is ads. Okay. And ads, the first thing you want to do is capture, connect your Facebook account. We're not going to talk about Google yet because it's not live for everybody yet. So, keep an eye in the mastermind group. The minute that goes live, Scott and I are going to be jumping up and down about that. Okay. So here you can create 3 kinds of ads: a listing ad, a landing page ad, and a PDF ad. Let's start at the top with listing ads. And I was showing you earlier the open house, and you could actually do this from the market listing side, but I'm just going to show you that you can do it from here as well. And it's the same sort of thing. Again, if you want to say, grade schools or new kitchen or whatever, you just type it in before you run the ad, then you click publish. Okay. Just so we're clear, this is sponsored by Listings to Leads. That's because I'm connected to the Listings to Leads account. Yours is going to be sponsored by your business page. So these ads are great for branding because every time you run an ad, it's going to get seen by 1,000 to 3,000 people, depending on your budget. So if you want to build your brand, this is a really smart place to do it. Then you can create PDF guide ads. Now we've got over 80 PDF guides, half for buyers and half for sellers. And if you look at the little white button at the top left of each of these, you can download it and read it yourself. You'll find that you are branded on every page. Here's one here for dangers of overpricing, 5 dangers. Just click create an ad, and this will write the ad for you. Click it again. I must have hit it from a spot. And all you got to do in this case is type in the name of the town, right? I'll just say Tampa, Florida. And you can expand the radius if you want. It will, because this is for sellers, we default to a $50 ad. On average, PDF report leads, they have a cost, right? There's a cost per lead. Facebook sets that price. We don't set it. When you put $50 here, it's going to charge your credit card on your business account on Facebook. We're not taking a percentage of that $50. All $50 go to your ad. There are a lot of great companies out there that'll take 30% of your money every time you run an ad, but that's not us. Okay. And this will be a 7-day ad. Because it's for sellers, we always put a $50 budget, but I just want you to know that PDF guide leads often cost $10 each. So you might expect 5 leads because it's a $50 ad. All you got to do is click publish, and you will get leads with name, email, and phone number. But they cannot download this report until they give you their name, email, and phone number. And they're pre-populated by the Facebook profile. So it usually works out pretty well. Okay. Now you can also run ads on landing pages. And, and hit click PDF guide again. Let me click this, and I'm going to just start with this one, the freehold guide. Now, I don't know how long you've been in real estate, but if you've been in real estate a while, you've probably seen ads like this. This kind of ad has been out in the market for nearly 10 years. And I have been saying for a while that this is not an effective ad. And I can tell you a couple of reasons why. It's too generic. It doesn't talk about a particular town or neighborhood or development. So it's just, you don't know if you're signing up for a national spam campaign or what. So this kind of app really can only work if you are running it in a particular area. Okay. Now we're going to get kind of serious and about this section right now about ads. I'm going to run an ad in Pleasant Hill, and you need to create a Pleasant Hill landing page, right? And I did. So this is a picture of the Pleasant Hill Mall, the new mall, downtown Pleasant Hill. I will need to type in the area, Pleasant Hill, right? And you would think that if I ran this ad, that this would work out really well. Well, it doesn't. For some of you, it will work. But for many people, it doesn't work very well at all. And I want to show you why that is the case. Let's take us to a map of Pleasant Hill. This is Pleasant Hill, California, which is right next to my town, to my core town. So like you might have your core city, mine is Lafayette, but there are other adjacent towns where you would also want to do business. Pleasant Hill is one of them. So you may not know Pleasant Hill, but it's right here in the center. It's about 5 miles north to south and 3 miles east to west. Okay. And there's about 33,000 people in there. Now they're not all homeowners, but that's good. It's not a super tiny town, but it's a small town for Northern California. Notice that my minimum radius is 15 miles. You can't get any tighter than that. But if I'm going to run this ad, I'm going to shoot an ad out. It's going to cover almost every town you see in this page here. So that's what makes it not effective in general. Now, if you live in a rural area where, it's 30 miles to the next town, that ad can work just as it is, right? But I want to point out, I mentioned earlier that we have an awesome YouTube channel, right? And I said that there's a couple of calls on there that are down here. It says best way to get listings from Facebook, a new strategy to get high quality listings from Facebook. This is going to talk about how you make that ad work on Facebook, and it works. So I'm going to send this to you again, because I know a bunch of you jumped on the call when we were just getting started. So if you don't have a link to this YouTube channel, it's now bouncing in your GoToMeeting panel. I would save this link. And if you want listings, I would do that, because it's a very effective way of targeting people who own a home in Pleasant Hill in this case, right? And if you remember, I showed you the number one tool for getting listing leads is actually a print letter. Well, that's because the print letter you were targeting with a list. Well, now you can use that same list and target those people on Facebook ads. And that would be a super smart thing to do, is to target people in print and on Facebook. So let's just go back to the ad section. And I will also say that you can create all kinds of tools. You can create unlimited landing pages. I've got one here for Boundary Oaks. I'm going to create an ad there. And that's got a video in it. So it looks like that, which is too generic. What I really want to say is you should have landing pages for every one of the target markets, your farm markets, right? That you're trying to build your business at. I think here's one for San Antonio, right? Now, San Antonio is a big town. You might want to focus on neighborhoods there, right? But here I've got the downtown kind of area focused on. You could just type in San Antonio and let that go. And that would probably work, right? So you're just going to test it. But I also want to point out landing pages, right? So I've shown you that we can run ads on landing pages. You get 3 right off the bat. I think we're adding a fourth one, maybe this week. I can't remember what it's about. Oh, it's for FSBOs. Yeah. So, but you get a free home valuation landing page. You get a free down payment assistance and a free new construction. You can create unlimited landing pages. Okay. So Property Valuation Plus is the number one landing page for free home values. So you should always sort of create one of those for every one of the farm market that you're building your business in. You can also use video. So you can customize these things. I've got one for the Brookhaven golf community. You can add your own video there. Now, this one was made by another realtor, and I just kind of popped this out to show people, but I don't recommend that you're using random realtors, videos, because they might not like that. Okay. But that's just showing you that you can put video there. Right. I think I have another one. Let's see if it's handy. I have another one for Annapolis. And this one is actually got a drone video in the back. And you may not you may not have your own drone, right? But I will tell you this, drone videos can be cool. And a lot of our clients have gone out and they just go to YouTube and they'll type in like Annapolis drone video. And you'll see that people are putting drone videos up of your local communities. And you can just shoot them a message and say, hey, could I buy a copy of that to use in my marketing? And had a lot of clients have success with that. Right. So if you want to use kind of drone videos and stuff, and you don't want to go through all that expense and learning, it's just a nightmare. I tried to fly a drone video before. It's horrible, but you can just go buy one from YouTube. There are all kinds of people creating. To create a landing page, you just go up here and say property valuation plus, or a custom buyer landing page, custom book seller landing page. You might have a free or for it. You could sort of drive that there as well. I will tell you this though, on the custom buyer landing page, a lot of agents like to do that. You could just say the name of your favorite town. I don't recommend creating a landing page for buyers to say, sign up for a free list of homes. That you can, add video here. You can customize all this. But I know that there are some realtors that think, I want to create a landing page for homes for sale in my favorite town. Right. That doesn't work very well because we're most of us understand the internet, and we know that if I want to see homes, I could just type in Alamo homes for sale, right? Or, whatever the name of the town is. And they can just be looking at all kinds of websites. So that doesn't work very well. But what does work well is if you're talking about a particular type of home, like a golf course property, right? Or maybe horse, ranches kind of properties, or waterfront properties, right? Lakefront properties. That's the kind of thing when you can kind of use a landing page because it's a specific niche, right? That's what I recommend doing that, when you're creating a landing page for that. Because it's it might be new construction, and that's why we give you a new construction. You might be out there talking to a developer and say, hey, could I market your homes that are coming online and get you buyers? And a lot of developers will say, sure, right? Some have their own salespeople and others don't. So you can certainly help them here. And then that might be a good time to put a, kind of a video of the model home in the background, right? So you can kind of do those things with the landing pages. And then of course you can use the ad section to run ads there, right? To drive to that kind of landing page. So these are all the things you can do here. I did mention earlier, there's text IVR. You can sign up for it here, and then you can print up your sign writers. You can also reassign the number. So if you printed out a sign writer, and you've sold a home, well, you don't just want to throw the sign writer away. You can just reassign it to your next property. So that's really helpful. On PDF guides up here, you can actually change the theme, right? So maybe you're like, hey, I'm not going to use the default one. Maybe you're with Century 21 and you save this, and now all the branding, all the colors meet your guidelines. You might be working in an area where there's a lot of Spanish speakers and you want to run ads to that community. Well, we translate everything there to Spanish as well. That's kind of the nature of what we're doing here, guys. I think you want to make sure and turn on the automation, turn on the new social stuff. If you don't have a CRM, turn on our follow-ups. It's going to help you out. But then the tools that I've showed you, definitely use those. They are effective. They get both buyer and seller leads. Running ads is still, there's a lot of news on Facebook, like, the world is ending for them and stuff like that. They definitely have competition, but let me tell you, it's the number one place for lead capture. There's a lot of chit chat about TikTok, right? Probably heard of TikTok. Lots of people watching TikTok, making videos of things like that. Not a lot of lead capture though. Have you been listening to me and you've been in real estate 3 years ago? You know what else other people were talking about? Snapchat. You ever heard of Snapchat? It's a great place to make really funny looking photos and talk to your teenage friends. Not a great place for growing a real estate business though. And that's really the point of listings to leads, guys. We've been doing this for 13 years. We had one tool when we first started. It was one-click post to Craigslist. And we were very effective at capturing leads. And that's really what we do. We find ways to capture leads for realtors. Now, you do have to use the tools. The more tools you use, the more leads you're going to capture, right? So we're not a great tool. I mean, there are certainly a lot of clients that are like, you know what? I just love your open house market. That's the only thing I do with it is I market open house, right? Or some people are like, oh no, I just have on auto posting and it's so good. I love it. I don't do anything else. But then there are other clients that really start to learn what we're doing here. And they're using a lot of tools. Oh, I got to show you something new. I didn't realize we just have it right here. And they did a lot of business and their business starts to grow. Right. So I got to show you. So definitely I mentioned the YouTube channel, go learn what we're doing. Right here, I got to tell you something new. I forgot. I think it's right here because I haven't actually seen it. It says create listing presentation. And when I click it, let's just see what it does. Maybe it should create a listing presentation. We actually created a new listing presentation and you can get one for every one of your listings, but let's just see what this is doing. It doesn't look like it's doing anything great. So that's great. We'll give it a second. It is new. Often when we push something new, it kind of gets little errors, but let's just wait a second. If it doesn't do it here, I'll show you where we do have it hidden and it's just taking too long. So let's refresh. Let's go back here. It seems to be jammed up. There is a listing presentation for each listing as well. We just created a generic one there and it doesn't look like it's working at all. And that's because you might want to just have one ready, right? But if I click here, go to market listings, we did have one. Well, a lot of people actually in a listing presentation they'll just bring this right here and they'll just show them all the tools that we create. But there's actually, there's another place and I can't get that one to work. And it's really on that you can't do it. I'll click it one more time. There it is. It's a PDF report and it's branded to you. It talks about all the things that we do, shows them, nice graphics. Honestly, people, when it comes to listing marketing, listings to leads has everything you could want to do. And for many of you, you don't have it, right? Your company doesn't provide all these tools. And for many of you, your company does provide these tools, but they don't actually capture leads. They just do automated, colorful stuff, right? You should really look at this listing presentation yourself. This is a great way to also learn about what's going on. But it's really hard to compete against what we're doing. When we're doing this, when you're looking at it, there's no mention of listings to leads. It's going to have the name of your company and your logo, and you are on every page. It's graphical. It's really timely. It's very modern. And like here, you can see Craigslist, and maybe you don't use Craigslist. You don't like Craigslist. Just delete the page, right? And use it the way you want to use it. This is really just a great tool for you to have and use when you want to, after you're getting listing leads, get this in front of you, right? So everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget about our YouTube channel. It's super helpful. Don't forget about the Mastermind group. And the Mastermind group, our clients love to learn there. They also share what's going on, what's working for them. So I would definitely recommend that you use the support page in your account and ask them to get you the Mastermind group and then follow that link. Are there any questions for you? I've been going on here for almost an hour, but that's really my story for today. Any questions about anything you've seen, or maybe a question that I haven't tackled today? Well, I think as now there's a lot under the hood for listings to leads. I would definitely recommend that you start applying these tools to your business. They're working right now. Even the market is like shifting and flipping upside down. It's totally, these tools are working for our clients right now. What is the charge for sign writers? Yeah, I don't know the charge for sign writers because a lot of our clients are using their own company. You want to use our design. That's really the point of that. If you go to Dirt Cheap Signs, I know they're cheap. That's the name of their company, Dirt Cheap Signs. You can find out, Marcel, what they cost right there. If you have more, Dave, you've got more than one MLS feed, I would recommend that you ask the support team how to connect that. We can add two. So a lot of people are in two different MLSs. So you can have two and we'll sweep it automatically there. The support team's really, they're going to be helpful there. Any other questions? Oh, how to use a domain. What does that mean, Lori? How to use the domain feed? I don't know what that means. Domain feed. Do you mean a domain address? And actually there is somewhere. Let's go to the profile. I don't know what you mean by your question. So here it says domains, and this is new. And let me just say this, you can actually have your own domain replace ours. So we use one that's called Search All Properties, and it's got your address and stuff like that. But right here, yeah, if you have your own domain, so you might have, like Lori is saying, connect custom domain. Lori, you might have like LoriTheRealtor.com, right? And your website hangs on that. You could put that right here, Lori the Realtor, and then all of our tools will hang on that, right? And that's kind of how you do that. That button right there says learn more in the purple section. That will give you the step-by-step of how to connect that. Don is asking a great question. Do we keep current with Facebook algorithms changing? Donna, I'm sorry. We don't know anything about algorithms. And frankly, we don't need to know anything about algorithms because our ads capture so many leads. If our ads stopped capturing leads, we might need to know about what's really going on, which is the most important thing, is do you have competition in Facebook in your market? Like, Donna, where are you? Where are you in the country? And I can tell you this, we know this because our company's been here for 13 years. Facebook advertising has been around for maybe 9 years. So from the very first week that Facebook has had ads, I have been training our clients like almost every week or every other week. And I can tell you what really is the effect, what's the biggest effect on ads and ads working. One is, do you have a lot of competition? And you're in Vegas, and my guess is you have a lot of competition. But we can tell because the cost of leads is different when you have a lot of competition, right? So if you're running an ad for an open house in Vegas, your lead could easily cost $2 on the buyer side. If you run an ad on an open house in Manhattan, it could cost you $5, right? And if you ran one in Elk, Nevada, it could cost you $1, right? It's just like, how much competition is there, right? And that's really the factor, the denominating factor. If lead gen completely drops off the shelf, that's usually because something's happening in the market. And there's significant, that there was, once interest rates started climbing, people were like sitting still. But we're all starting to understand that interest rate's going to be here a while. You kind of understand that there are people getting approved right now for, 6.7 interest rates right now. So buying is going on. I think everybody can agree that you might have 20 offers on a property 3 months ago. You're now going to get 2 or 3. And so the leads are working, the ads are working right now. And yeah, we don't really even think about algorithms. I think also another thing that is important to know is you can run ads yourself on Facebook. Okay. And this has to do with boosting. Some of you may have boosted on Facebook. When you boost an ad on Facebook, you do not have the control that you have when running an ad on Facebook. Okay. So depending on what you're trying to do, boosting could just be a waste of your mind, right? But here on our ad section, we know by what you're clicking on, what your goal is, right? We can just tell, because if you're running an ad for a property that's for sale, well, it's different from a property that's sold. So we have our support, not our support, our developers. When we took the Facebook software, we check all the boxes that you need to check. I don't know if any of you are running ads inside the Facebook platform today or recently, but that thing changes at least every week. And so if you knew how to run an ad correctly on Facebook a month ago, it probably doesn't look the same today. I mentioned that I used to train like our clients on how to run ads on Facebook. You know what? If I go try to run an ad on Facebook today, I actually did this. I was on a call last week and I went over here and I clicked create an ad. And you know what? It's like, oh my God, what is this? I don't even know what it is. Create a new ad, right? It's totally different from the last thing I saw. And man, if you like that headache, go ahead and do that, right? But if you don't want the headache and you want an ad that is approved and successful, you do it right here. If you're in real estate, okay? Because we have their software, we checked it. It doesn't matter what they do, how they change their user interface. We have their software. And so our ads get approved. A lot of our clients said, well, your ad gets approved in a minute. It takes me hours. I'm waiting for approval and I do it by hand. There's all kinds of reasons why you want to do this. But the main reason is stop wasting money, right? And time. Facebook it's crazy. It's just hard. So anyway, guys, thank you. If you have more questions, please let me know. But thank you for joining me today. Don't forget about our YouTube channel. Take a little time, invest a little time in learning our system. It will really pay off. And the last thing because that question about Facebook and now it's like fall, it's almost fall here. When it comes to Facebook ads and it comes to just advertising in general, right around Thanksgiving, a lot of realtors just take a nap. They take a nap until spring, right? And that question about Facebook it's directly related to that. Is that you will find that I have found our clients about you here in the mastermind group this holiday season that leads are becoming so cheap on Facebook, like super cheap, and that's because all the realtors have taken a nap. So if you want to build a database of potential buyers and sellers, I recommend you keep working through the holidays. It takes 60 seconds to run an ad. It's very easy. And you make sure those are going in some sort of CRM and you get used to working on it. Okay. So everybody, thanks so much for joining me. This call is being recorded. It'll be in the mastermind group and it'll be on our YouTube channel either later today or tomorrow. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.